Welcome to this tutorial on Lifelines in UML sequence diagrams. In software engineering and system design, communication between different parts of a system is crucial. UML provides a way to visualize this interaction through sequence diagrams, and lifelines are one of the key components in these diagrams. Let's start by understanding what a sequence diagram is. A sequence diagram shows how different objects interact with each other over time. Think of it as a visual representation of a conversation between different parts of your system. Now, let's focus on lifelines. A lifeline represents an individual participant in a sequence diagram. It's depicted as a vertical dashed line extending downward from an object or actor. The lifeline shows the existence of the object during the interaction. The longer the lifeline, the longer that object participates in the interaction. These arrows represent messages or method calls between objects. When one object sends a message to another, it's shown as an arrow from the sender's lifeline to the receiver's lifeline. Typically, the arrows are labeled with the name of the method being called or the nature of the message being sent. Another important aspect of lifelines is activation. When an object is actively processing a method or message, its lifeline shows an activation box, represented by a thin rectangle on the lifeline. Now, let's talk about different types of lifelines. First, we have actor lifelines. These represent external entities like users, external systems, or stakeholders. They're often shown with a stick figure icon. Next, we have object lifelines. These represent instances of classes or components in your system. They're shown as rectangles with the object name, often underlined. Third, we have class lifelines. These represent classes rather than specific instances. They're usually shown similar to object lifelines, but with the class name displayed. Lifelines can also indicate object destruction, when an object is destroyed or no longer participates in the interaction. Its lifeline ends with an X. Let's put all of this together in a practical example. Here's a more complete sequence diagram showing user authentication. Let's discuss the benefits of using lifelines in sequence diagrams. First, they provide a clear visual representation of how long objects exist during an interaction. Second, they show timing and the order of interactions between different parts of a system. Third, they help focus attention on the active participants at each step of the process. Finally, they can be invaluable for debugging and understanding complex systems by visualizing the flow of messages and method calls. To summarize what we've learned, a lifeline represents an object's existence during a sequence of interactions. Lifelines can represent actors, objects, or classes. Activations on lifelines show when objects are actively processing. Messages between lifelines represent method calls or communications. Lifelines can show object creation and destruction. Understanding lifelines is crucial for creating effective sequence diagrams, which are valuable tools for designing, documenting, and understanding complex software systems and their interactions. Thank you for watching this tutorial on lifelines in UML sequence diagrams.